Greetings from Tokyo. This is Daisuke, and I hope you're all doing very well today. I want to just let you know that I am now back in Tokyo, and it is now late July 2019. So I was away last week, but now I have returned, so I want to say hello and just say thank you very much to all of you out there who have watched videos here. I know that I made a few live streams from my hotel room overseas, so thank you very much for watching those if you had a chance to. I really appreciated it. I apologize if I made them in a bit of a rough or impromptu manner. I hadn't planned on making those live streams, but I ended up doing them because they were very fun to do, so thank you very much for that. But now I'm back in Tokyo, and so hopefully I'll get back to the regular swing of things. Although I do like those live streams where it's just a free talk, as it were. Maybe I'll think about doing that in the future, and I'll be sure to announce it in advance and set some kind of schedule up so they're not impromptu or sudden or anything of that nature. But I will give that a think if I can do that. But because that was a lot of fun just to talk and to hear your thoughts about various bits of cinema. So thank you very much. Speaking of which, just to let you know, I don't know if you're interested, but if you're not interested, please don't worry about it. But if you are interested, just to let you know, I went to the Barnes & Noble in Hawaii, which is where I was, in Honolulu, and I got a number of titles through the Criterion Collection sale there, so I was very happy about that. It's always nice to be able to go to a Barnes & Noble in person and to look on the shelves, and it's just amazing to me just how much fun it is just to browse and to just stand there and just let your eye wander the shelves, as it were. It really is a lot of fun, and just to see them in person, and then to see people slowly emerge and stand there and stand there next to you and watch the shelves, and you realize, oh, here is a fellow Criterion Collection fan standing next to me. Oh, it's great. Because here I am in Japan, and Criterion Collection fans are kind of a rare thing to spot, and so it's always I always get a thrill if I'm in the store and I see a fellow Criterion Collection fan standing in the vicinity. So that was really nice. Let me say also that while I was on the plane ride from Honolulu to Tokyo, I managed to catch 2 films through the in-flight entertainment service. So that was great. And these are 2 films that I'd never seen before. They were both relatively recent releases. I'd say releases from about 2 or 3 years ago, maybe a little bit more, 4 years ago, maybe. The first film that I saw was Cameron Crowe's Aloha, and I selected it because it had the Hawaiian theme. It had a Hawaiian setting, and I was just coming back from Hawaii, so I thought it would be nice to see a film that was set in Hawaii. And it was a Cameron Crowe film, and I'm certainly not against Cameron Crowe films. On the contrary, I like many of his works. I had never seen this film. I did know of the kind of negative press that it received. It received fairly negative reviews upon its initial release, and it also had a certain backlash with respect to some casting elements that the film has. And so I was well aware of those elements and those things going into the film, but I thought, what the heck, it might be a good thing just to check it out for myself and to see what the fuss was about. So I did, and I think it was it wasn't a super terrible film, I think, but there are certain issues with the film that I have. I think there are some ideas, many ideas that I think are in play in the film that the fact that they are in the film to begin with, I think shows a sense of earnestness, good faith earnestness on the part of the filmmakers concerned. That being said, I think also that the film had too many ideas that it was trying to juggle, or maybe too many characters that it was trying to juggle, and I think it was trying to be a bit too clever with some of the ways in which those ideas were being explored. And I thought some of the dialogue seemed a bit too screenwritery, if you know what I mean. It didn't feel like, these characters felt a little bit too overly witty with their snappy dialogue. And don't get me wrong, I like snappy dialogue, but it just felt like it was going against what I thought the film was trying to go for, which was a kind of intimate look at this main character, rather broken character played by Bradley Cooper, I think. And so, so I thought that was a little bit of an odd mix. And so it was, on the whole, it was, I think, a film that I don't think has any bad intent in terms of what the filmmakers were going for, but I think it's the effect or the overall film itself, the final product of the film itself is how should I put it? It's I'm not sure, mediocre, or something like. If you were to ask me, is Aloha a film that maybe do you think that you might like it in 10 years upon rewatching? And I'd probably answer that question by saying, I don't think I liked the film enough to want to rewatch it in the first place, and so I wouldn't be able to answer the question. So that's Aloha. It's not terrible, but it's not a film that I don't think I'd want to watch again. So, and there are other issues with the film. There are certain fundamental issues with the film, including the casting and of some particular character. And so, it's a little bit of a, well, I guess that's it. So that's it for Aloha. And then the other film that I saw, which I thought was really, really brilliant, film is Arrival. Denis Villeneuve's film Arrival, which blew me away. It just, I was so amazed at how much I really just found this film enthralling, captivating. I was, wow, amazing. And the musical score was brilliant. I was so enthralled by it that as soon as I landed, we got our bags and we were on the taxi ride, or not a taxi, we were on a train ride home. It was rather a long, maybe it was in about an hour and a half or so, and the kids were taking a nap, and I was just sitting there on the train. And so I put on my headphones and I was listening to the soundtrack of Arrival, and I thought, this is such a great, moody score. And the overall film was really brilliant. I did see it once, and so I did come away with it with there are certain issues that I have with it, fairly minor issues. If I could be very vague about it, I would say that the main issues that I have with it, I thought that the film, I thought it was at its most interesting when it was focusing on the scientific method and these scientists, and they were trying to figure out what was going on, and they were having a back and forth. I found those scenes to be really fascinating. And then throw in also the scenes involving discussions between the scientists on the one hand and the military on the other hand, and the different goals that each side had, and trying to synthesize them, or trying to have them sort of coexist. I thought that was, and the struggles and the tensions between the sides, I thought that was really fascinating. So I love that aspect of the film. And I thought, though, that there were certain turns that the film took, certain, let's say, action set pieces, perhaps, that the film took, that I thought were a little bit abrupt. They felt a little bit Hollywoody, and for lack of a better phrase. And so I thought, oh gosh, it would have been nicer if those Hollywood-type sort of action turns that the film took were taken out. And then instead, I would have loved to have seen at least another hour, maybe another 2 hours with this film. So it would have been a 4-hour film, I guess. Or I would have loved to have spent more time in this world with these characters, and then just have the story spread out over maybe, I don't know, 6 episodes of a miniseries, or 8 episodes of a miniseries. I thought that would have been great, and to slowly build the tension. So what that would have done would be to also add further dimension to the characters, and in particular the main character played by Amy Adams, which I thought was, what a fascinating performance that was. There's a particular arc that this character undergoes during the progress of this film, and it has to do with a particular tragedy in this character's life, which is revealed right at the beginning of the film in a very poetic way. And then from there, the film, that establishes the film's tone going forward. And then from that opening, let's say 2 minutes, we get a very strong and palpable sense of who this character is, and the kind of emotional dimension that we can attach to not only this character, but also the film as a whole. And I thought that was really fascinating, the kind of character hook, so to speak, that we see at the very opening of the film. As powerful as I thought that was, I think the Amy Adams character is so interesting a character that I thought, wow, I would love to know more dimensions about her character. Not only is the stuff that we find out at the very beginning of the film regarding her character really interesting and emotional and very engrossing and quite captivating and heartbreaking. I would love to know more about her character, which we didn't get in the film. And so I would have loved to have seen, let's say, more of these little glimpses, shall we say, into her character, other than the glimpse that we saw in the first 2 minutes. So, because I think her character is so complex and rich a character, that I think she is a character that has so many stories, and I would have loved to see more of those stories, if you know what I mean. At the moment, I think we saw one story in her grand life, the character's life. Of course, that story that we saw was very, very powerful, and it's perhaps the defining story of this character's life. Don't get me wrong, I completely understand that, but I would have loved to have seen more of her character stories, and how that basically informed her character, or how that caused her to be who she is by the time we meet her in the film. One of those fascinating performances. But those are just, I would say, relatively minor criticisms with respect to a grand, ambitious, and intelligent work, Arrival. I was very much surprised at how much I enjoyed this film. So, yes. I should mention, though, that I will be ready, most definitely, for the Film Club live stream that is scheduled to take place this upcoming Sunday, July 28th, 2019, 6 a.m. Tokyo time. Again, 6 a.m. Tokyo time. This is the film MISHIMA, A Life in 4 Chapters. And so if you are interested in joining the live stream film club chat live as it happens, you can join me and you can join other people here, our dear friends, and we will have a nice discussion about Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters. I will be talking about specific details of the film, so I would recommend that you watch the film first before joining the chat. If you cannot make the live stream scheduled date and time, that's perfectly fine, of course. The video will then be uploaded onto YouTube as soon as I'm finished filming it. So you can always watch the video of it after the fact. And I think you can even turn on the function and you can watch the live chat as it occurred during the live stream itself. So very nice function of YouTube, I think. So once again, Sunday, July 28th, 2019, 6 a.m. Tokyo time. 6 a.m. Tokyo time. We will be talking about Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters. I would so love to see you there. It would be really nice to hear what you have to say about this very remarkable, odd, and beautiful, and even in some ways frustrating work directed by Paul Schrader. So I hope to see you there. Okay, my friends, let me leave you. And so once again, thank you very much to all of you and to your generosity and kindness and support, as always. I really appreciate it. And I've also, before I go, sorry about this, one other thing is, I did try to respond to all the comments that have been left on my videos here. And so I tried to respond to everyone. But if for whatever reason you left a comment but I didn't respond to it, I apologize. Sometimes, well, I should say this, sometimes I do miss comments unintentionally. I try to catch them all, but if I miss a comment, that's totally on me, so I apologize. I am only human, so I do the very best I can, but just sometimes I do miss a comment, so I do apologize for that. There are other times, though, where, for whatever reason, YouTube won't allow me to respond to a comment that I am otherwise able to see. Now, I don't know why that is. Sometimes I get comments from people, and I'm able to view them, but when I click the button to try to respond and try to type something, the comment disappears, or it doesn't appear under the video where it was originally posted, or something like that. So, for whatever reason, YouTube prevents me in these sorts of scenarios from responding to comments. And that has happened to me on a number of occasions, and it did actually happen to me this past week. I did get a few comments where I was trying to comment back, but YouTube wouldn't allow me to do so. And so that might be another reason why, if you feel like you've left a comment but I haven't responded, that could be the reason why. So in any event, my friends, if you feel like you've left a comment and I haven't responded, please, if you don't mind just leaving the comment again and posting the comment, and then I will try to address it as soon as I can. So once again, I apologize for any sorts of technical difficulties or any mistakes that have occurred. But if you don't mind, yes, please leave the comment again, and I'll do my best to get back to you. So with that, my friends, let me say thank you very much, and until we meet again, please be happy and healthy and well, and please, please, please keep on watching a lot of great movies. Cheers, my friends.